This train station looks incredible, but it also looks huge. The big question is where is it gonna go in my Lego city? I guess the first thing I've got to do here is cut that expensive tape and see what we're dealing with here. Got an interior box. Okay. Funny, I was surprised. I was like, oh man, this set feels pretty light. Then I remembered, oh yeah, well there's no big thick instruction manual in there, right? That reduces the weight of sets substantially. What do you think? Should Lego start getting rid of instruction manuals? I think they were discussing it. They were thinking, oh, well maybe we should just make all the instructions digital. I don't think I'm a big fan of that. I do like the paper instructions, and I think a lot of fans would be highly disappointed with that. But there is a pamphlet in here, and this is gonna have the QR code, which anyone can scan, and actually anyone can access these instructions online. You don't need the set. It features the designer up there, and then we've got our base plates. So, looks like it is 1.5 base plates, and I'm actually gonna Mills plate it in dark gray. I might actually have to do a little bit of research before I Mills plate it, because we've got some 16 by 16 plates, and also the train track, so maybe the train is going to be like inset a little bit, and it doesn't need to be fully Mills plated. For example, when you take a look at the other Bricklink designer program train station, which is known as the stud gate train station here in the city, I Mills plated the whole thing, and you can see the track actually goes up a little bit, and that's because I embed this particular train track right into my Mills plate. Whereas some of the other train track that I have here in the city is ballast, and it actually sits right on top of the Mills plate. But yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're gonna be diving into that train station, and I gotta try and figure out where we're gonna put it. I'm actually gonna be building that at home with Mrs. Bricksy later on tonight. It's Sunday. I was supposed to be at home all weekend building Lego and building that train station, and guess what? It's Sunday afternoon and I haven't even started. I got distracted by some other things, that's for sure, but I hope to take care of a big chunk of it tonight. So I'm just getting through the second bag here, and as you can see, it's very colorful. And I'm just building the elevated train station, and there's gonna be a platform built right into it. So the train track actually isn't gonna be part of this, which I think is really cool because it makes it more modular. Wherever you place it in the city, it's not really gonna be set in stone, so I think that really works out quite nicely there. I am gonna have to change up the tile color here on the front because of course it's dark gray, and I always reverse my tiles, so I make it light gray. So I'll probably end up making this dark gray and this light gray, but I usually do that once I actually place it in the city because I like having a look at the original model. I am building just with my phone. My instructions are on the phone, which isn't ideal, but I don't have a tablet here at the studio. It's something I've been meaning to invest in actually, as a tablet, because my kids, they stole my tablet. they watch Sesame Street and all that on it. So unfortunately, I currently don't have a tablet. Maybe I'll change that one day. Did I make a mistake? I think I did. I saved that just for you. I thought it would be replicated on this side, but I was wrong. Sometimes if you're like me, you can go on autopilot and make little errors like that. I think it's super cool that it's elevated. And once again, I think it's really neat that it can be placed anywhere. It doesn't matter about the train track because we're actually going to be building those separately and putting them there. So from what I understand so far, it's going to be quite modular. You can see the colorful interior there, and we're about to seal that off with some dark gray plate. A lot of plate and brick pressing at this point. So you gotta make sure you eat your Wheaties before you start this build. And we're using the big 16 by 16 plates here. I thought those were originally gonna be for the train track, but obviously we just found out that I was completely wrong. I guess that's one of the negative things about building using a sit-stand desk. When you're in the standing position, you can't really get over the model and put your body weight into it. Whereas if it's in the sitting position, you can stand up and be right over it. But I just finished the front part here with the brackets, and that's gonna finish off the dark bluish gray, concealing all those colorful plates. And now it looks like we're actually gonna be adding some more colorful plates to the top here eventually as well. But for picking the wrong parts and for a hurting neck, I blame this tiny screen. I would never recommend building with your phone. I'm like, what is that going on there? This is not good. I need to make the transition to home like right now. This build is just flying along. Look at that. I've pretty much got the entire base construction done. Some really nice tiling in the inside, fully tiled off, which I really like. And then there's also lots of nice ingot work as well. Where's this thing gonna go? It's 1.5 base plates wide. The front of it just looks beautiful. Like, that is amazing. And the back of the box doesn't really show what the other side looks like. Of course, you see the black windows with the grill elements. Looks like a fairly decent facade. And of course, the train will zip through that side. But wherever I place this in the city, I want to have it forward facing so we can look at the front of the building. For example, I wouldn't want it placed on this side of the street and have the building facing the zoo, because then I wouldn't see the beautiful face of the building. And I'm really scratching my head in regards to the placement of this set. Of course, it could come somewhere over here. For example, it could sit like this, but then once again, you're not going to see the face of the building. And there's a huge train station right over here. I do agree that the amusement park does need a secondary train station, but I don't think it needs a train station that's that massive, because we have a massive train station here. So I think if I create a smaller train station over here, which links up with the subway, we'll be okay. All our bases will be covered there. Now this thing, it has to sit up against a train track, whereas this one, I needed to build like this crazy specialized series of switches to have 2 lines pass through there. I had to widen it so it accommodated the standard 8 stud switch track. So this has actually been widened. That's why you can see this is a little bit flexy here, because I actually extended this. We added another entrance to it. So we had to modify the set and come up with this crazy system just to accommodate that train station. Whereas the other one, the Brickcross train station, is going to be so much easier to accommodate. But the issue is it needs to go up against the train track. I don't want to do it over there because that's the amusement park. We've got this train station right there. I can't really do it along this street because I would have to shuffle or reshuffle my entire downtown core, and this train track is starting to go up. So that doesn't make any sense. Can't do it around the bend here. The train goes over the water, that's why it goes up, and then it comes back down. So my options are pretty much non-existent in the downtown core stretching this way. I would not want to place this beautiful train station in the countryside. It makes absolutely no sense to place that in the countryside. It has to go somewhere downtown. I could make a smaller little train stop somewhere over here by the beach, but it seems like the beach is the only place where I can possibly place this new train station. Maybe I should have kept it sealed. You know, I don't know, what am I going to do? Of course, it needs 48 studs of straight track. So I could place it along this track right here, maybe by the gravel road, but we wouldn't want to have a gravel road or the beginning of a gravel road in front of that beautiful train station. And it also requires a base plate of depth. So there's not really the depth to work with right there. So I honestly think the only solution for the train station at this particular point in time with this layout that I've worked really hard on creating is somehow fitting it right here. Moving the diner, moving the diner's parking lot, moving the skate park, which I've already been thinking about. I can bring that skate park toward the expanded downtown over there where we have the entrance to the amusement park, freeing up an entire base plate there, shift this diner down and over maybe, consuming some of this massive beach space, and somehow fit the train station right here where we have 1.5 base plates. But then I have to shift all of this down. I have to condense all of this stuff, like the mini modular buildings are going to have to move. The Ferris wheel will have to move. So I would have to redo this entire layout right here. The water, for the most part, it's going to be all right. The angled boardwalk, that's going to be all right as well. But pretty much all of these modules, all around here with the palm trees, the fish market, the fishing store, all the mini modulars, the skate park, the snack shack will all have to be moved around to accommodate that idea. And is the train station forward facing there like I want it? Not really. It's facing that way, sort of where the 1950s diner is. So I think it sort of is, at least it's not facing the other direction toward the zoo. We'll be able to look at it from this perspective, and of course it's a lot bigger and taller than the 1950s diner, so you will be able to see it just sort of peeking out from behind these buildings maybe. My other option is to reconfigure the road here, reconfigure these modular buildings, and get it so it's facing this way. And then the entrance to the train station is facing downtown. I do have some open base plates here, so I could start shuffling some things around. For example, there's 2 base plates right there, there's 2 base plates right there, and there's also 1 more base plate over there. I was able to free up that space because we recently expanded the downtown core and moved all these buildings over there, and there's also a bunch of open space over here. So maybe I need to start thinking about doing a complete reshuffle so I can get one of the primary train stations over here in the downtown core, because then I'll have 1 over there servicing that end of the downtown and 1 over here servicing this end of the downtown. So maybe the play is to do that, reshuffle all this stuff around and make this a row of modular buildings over here and get this road reconfigured, because then we could go modular building, or train station, right? Modular building, modular building, modular building, modular building, reconfigure this road, and then just reshuffle all this stuff to make that work. Or reshuffle the beach like I was talking about there. I think those are my only 2 options, and I definitely need to sleep on it, and I definitely need to read your comments about it, and I definitely need to talk to Jose about it. So much to think about. And this one set, once again, causing the domino effect of crazy, huge, massive Lego City changes. What else just did that? That's it right there, the botanical garden. I love the placement of that. I've got a really good idea for the front of it, just working on how I'm going to do that. But that caused the expansion of the downtown, the removal of the Ninjago, well, movement of it, the movement of the residential area. It just like caused this huge change to happen in the city. And I think this train station is about to do the same to either the beach or this section of the downtown core. Somebody recently stated that, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're willing to dedicate half of your layout to the countryside. That is just way too much space. You can't really display cool sets in the countryside. Think about if you just made it all one giant downtown core. Well, of course, we do have that option in the future. If I truly wanted to do something like that, I definitely could. For now, we have a lot of space over there. I'm not in a huge rush to make this entire surface the downtown core, because it would be pretty much empty. And I really wanted to experiment with creating a really cool countryside that still does have cool sets in it, and also has the opportunity of displaying really cool mocks in it as well. So I want to continue with my countryside idea, just because I think we can create some really cool stuff and some really cool stories and different height and elevation, and then eventually structures and everything that will go amongst this entire area as well. So you got to remember, it is a countryside, but that doesn't mean we can't put cabins and campgrounds and truss bridges and really neat vegetation and all these different stories and cool sets and airstrips with little shacks and 8-stud houses and all of this different stuff, right? So yeah, we still have the ability to display cool stuff here in the countryside, and we still have the ability to build custom. And if I ever do run out of space in the Lego City downtown core, well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We've got Tico. We've got Harry Potter. Building station number 1. The laptop with instructions. Building station number 2. The tablet with instructions. Not bad. Check out that snake. Whoa. But this staircase is super cool. I love that. Gonna install it right there. It's held in place by the brackets and those modified bricks with the forward-facing studs. There's definitely a lot more ergonomical ways to build Lego. Enough pillows there? No? But we switched it up. We turned the table this way so we weren't locked in there. And we also started the Prisoner of Azkaban. But I think these will probably be the last bags. It's already like, what, 9:15? Haven't even edited yet, and I won't lie, I'm exhausted. But hey, at least we're building some Lego while watching some Harry Potter. Things could be worse, right? Hey, look, it's Peter Pettigrew. He made it into the set. This looks pretty clean, though. You've got the nice, what's that, 4x4 tiles? Those are pretty cool. Also, the brackets with the dark yellow line and the tiles going across. Nice and clean down here with the slopes, too. All of these arches look really good. There's even some with the window glass. Mine came, like, scratched up, though, so not a huge fan of that. But there's also this glass panel over here. And in the window, you can see all the 2x2 printed pieces. And it's got the News Bricks logo above that. But I like this glass. I want to get some of those for my own collection. Very nice. Really cool tile job in here. I forgot to put one of the 1x1s right there in the corner, so I'll have to grab the spare pieces from the studio. And then there's a piano right there, one of our minifigures, and the newsstand right here. The minifigure inside, you can see it's tiled off in a different color with the dark tan and dark orange. And then our other shop right over here with the Tico hair will have the reddish brown floor, and then we've got a couple more minifigures out front. And then there is a bus stop here as well. Somebody did mention that instead of placing this as a train station in the city, maybe what you could do is actually just convert it into a bus station. That's another option that I have in regards to placing it as well. Mrs. Bricksie built this here. This is the glass roof. So you can build it as a couple build because somebody can skip forward and do that. I think this might stretch out and over. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it when I finish building it, and we'll have to see how it's going to go into the Lego city there, I guess. She also built this roof here, which is nicely curved, and it's got a really neat sticker element on it there. That's going to be for this side. And you can see the remaining stickers over here. So yeah, we made some pretty good progress today on this train station, and I think I came up with a couple good solutions for placing it in the city. So I will finish building that another day, but I am absolutely exhausted, and I want to sit back and watch my favorite Harry Potter movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.